Well, the crypto market is starting this Tuesday off in the red, with most cryptos down anywhere from 5 to 15%, and many continuing the crash that we saw just a couple days ago. And in today's video, I want to go over exactly why I believe that this is happening, why these cryptos are pulling back, and exactly what I'm expecting next as a result of it. So we have a good bit to get into today, but I want to get it out to you as fast as possible. So let's not waste any more time at all, and let's get straight into it. Now, to give you a little bit of context, just a couple of days ago, when we saw Bitcoin's price start to bounce a little bit back here on Saturday, and Sunday, I made a video for you all titled "Warning: The Crypto Trap is Not Over." In this video, the whole purpose of that video is to say, listen, I know the market's kind of recovered over the last 24 to 48 hours, but I need you all to be careful going into next week, because there is a world in which I can imagine this pullback continuing down back to some of those lower prices to reaccumulate at some of those lower prices. Now, the reason why I was under the belief that this was possible, not saying that I knew it was going to happen, but that it was possible, was because of the way that these market manipulators think. I was like, you need to think like a market manipulator, right? If you were someone who can control crypto, right? And you were, say Bitcoin's price was up here. And then next thing you know, you absolutely smash it towards the downside to liquidate all of these long traders. And then you let it recover a little bit. My question to you is, why would you not, at this point, bring it back down one more time to liquidate everyone who gets confident when this move happens, right? Because you were able to accumulate Bitcoin at these lower prices, and then now you're already in a profit. And as you generate that profit, all these people are like, oh, the dump is over, the bottom is in, Bitcoin's going to the moon, blah, 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 because we never learn here in crypto. And then next thing you know, if you're a market manipulator, why wouldn't you look at this and be like, yeah, I mean, you know what? Why don't we bring it back down a little bit? Maybe not as low as that previous point, right? But bring it back down a little bit, liquidate all of these people again who are betting that the market's going to go up. And then whenever we're ready, then push the market to the upside and liquidate all of those short traders who got even more confident when this second pullback happened. I was like, so if you think about this from the perspective of a market manipulator, why wouldn't you push prices back down to get that double dip, to go back in and get dessert 2 times, right? And I told you, I could see a world in which that happens. I think there's a decent chance it does happen, so you need to be very careful. And if we go look at what is happening right now, that seems to be exactly what is happening. And again, I'm not going out and saying I knew this was going to happen. I just knew that it was a threat. And what we can see is that Bitcoin did exactly that. Its price recovered off that $104,000, $103,000 low, pushed all the way back up to 116. And as we were pushing up towards the upside, what happened? Everybody started betting big again that Bitcoin was about to go up. That's why I made the video the next day, which was titled "Crypto Investors Just Don't Effing Learn." And in this video, I was talking about the fact that I can actually even go show you. In this video, I was talking about the fact that everybody was betting big again. We saw billions and billions and billions of dollars of long trades entering the market with everyone thinking that crypto is about to rally. And it annoyed me a lot, which is why I made this video, because I said, listen, you're opening us up for another dump. And lo and behold, just 24 hours later, the crypto market starts to pull back as all of those people are just getting absolutely rinsed right now. I mean, they are getting absolutely rinsed right now. Let's go look at the Rex chart, actually. Hold on one second. Let's go look at this. Boom. Look, I mean, guys, 24 hours, $663 million, just absolutely rinsed. Just within the last 4 hours, $156 million have been getting absolutely destroyed. And that just goes to show that the way that we thought this might play out and the way that we were worried it might play out is now playing out. Now, although it is frustrating to see this happening, it is, in my opinion, actually good for the long term, because I'm still under the belief that as this pullback is now happening, it is very, very possible that this is one of the last accumulationary periods, and that we're going to see maybe Bitcoin and altcoins pull back down a little bit, give these whales and these insiders one more opportunity to accumulate at some of these lower prices, and then use that opportunity of accumulation to then allow the market to push now that they've double dipped and liquidated all of those long traders and washed all of those liquidations out of the market, right? Because truth be told, if you think about it, like we're not in a worse position now than we were on Friday when this dip first started, right? The tariff situation is, I'm not going to say resolved, but in a much better position than it was back then. So all of those fundamental reasons that the market had to be falling, it doesn't really have them anymore. This is just pure manipulation. The market is double dipping. These market manipulators are double dipping. And I'm under the belief, again, that once they're done double dipping, it'll open the market up for some gains and some growth sometime in the future. Now, I may be wrong. We might just go into a bear market and crypto might just dip forever. At that point, I'll just get generational buying opportunities. I'm not mad about it, but I don't think I'm wrong. I think that this market will find some sort of stability after it goes in and double dips one more time, and then we should be able to see some growth towards the upside into the future. That's my guess as to what's going to happen, but do understand it's simply just a guess. So what am I going to do as a result of that? Well, naturally, I want to move like a market manipulator. If they're using this as an opportunity to double dip and liquidate and accumulate, well, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go in and I'll do a little bit of buying on the things that hit some macro levels, right? For example, Bitcoin at $109,000 looks juicy to me. Look, that's that previous level of support. So yeah, if Bitcoin can come back down to 109K, sure, I'm happy to do a tiny little purchase. Not a big purchase, but a tiny purchase, why not? Or for example, like Ethereum. If Ethereum's price comes back down into this green zone of the descending channel we talked about in yesterday's video, yeah, I'm going to go in, I'll do a little bit of a purchase. Or Solana, same thing. If Solana's price wants to come back down towards the bottom side of this channel, sure, I'll buy a little bit, because why not, right? That's what they're doing, so that's what I'm going to do. And I'm under the belief that by doing that, I'm opening myself to the opportunity to move against the grain enough to act like a market manipulator and benefit like a market manipulator. And so that's my game plan. I don't believe that this is some big, scary, terrible thing. I think they are simply doing what makes sense. And that's what, again, we spoke about in this video. I said it makes sense for them to go in and push this market back down one more time for another accumulation. So that's all that I think is happening. I'll update you guys if I'm wrong. Obviously, I'm man enough to admit, listen, I didn't think that crash was going to happen in the first place. And when I was wrong, I said I was wrong. And if I'm wrong here, I'll say I'm wrong because I'm man enough to admit that. But I'm willing to bet my own money that I'm not wrong. And so I guess we'll see what happens. So I just wanted to give you a quick update, letting you know what I thought was going on, why I think it's happening, what I'm doing now. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment below. If you agree with me or if you think I'm wrong, I'd love to chat with you there. I'll see you down in the comments. See you, everybody.